Hello, hello. Is it them? Is it the lads? Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Stream's just starting now.
Oh.
Do you want me to close the door or no? Hello,
Probably
hello.
not, as long as you're not
Is it
super
them?
loud.
Is
But I've got the
okay.
weapons machine on and stuff and the fan upstairs, so I think no problem.
I'll be as shrieky as possible just to disrupt you. All right, lads. What is up? We have a new patch. I told you that we would stream this, so if you've not been here before for this type of stream, I have not read the patch notes. Everything I know from the patch notes has just been me tinkering around with early access. So there are just things I've noticed and such, but I have not read the patch notes of any kind. We're going through these are going to be my first reactions and impressions of the notes themselves. After this stream, we'll make sure, is Steam updating? Is it? Because I don't know if the patch is actually out yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like the patch is actually out. Whenever the patch is out, I will do a stream today of fighting a bunch of chaos dwarves and stuff. But for now, just reading patch notes. Okay? Okay. Let's go. Patch 3.0. Prepare yourself. This one's a bit of monster. It's one of the beefiest updates ever released. Yeah, that seems about true. From what I even just playing around, the game felt really, really different. So, yeah. Some of the highlights. Forge's Chaos Dwarves is riding Warhammer 3. Holy fucking shit, you guys. Might, however, battle through time a series of challenging trials to unlock Demon Pit's gear. Okay, so that's the mirrors. What? That has to be a typo, because the sentence literally says, this might, comma, however, battle through time in a series of challenging trials that, I think they meant this night. I don't know. That's a weird sentence. Bolster the Empire and Kislev with Ulrika. New randomization feature in campaign. What? Oh, roll the dice on which race and legendary lord. Okay, that's cool. New line of sight adjustments along with a variety of AI tweaks and battle map improvements to enhance responsiveness to your armies. Okay, so they did change some line of sight stuff. That's cool. I didn't notice too much of it when I was playing. Like, I didn't notice specifically, oh man, the line of sight feels so much better, but the game overall felt better, so I don't doubt it. And a sweep of new changes to Bretonnia Dark Elves Grand Cathay Greenskins. Cool. Alright. Skip all the download stuff. Skip all those. Release Spotlight. Chaos Dwarves, yeah. Skip. Mirrors of Madness. You've already probably heard about it. It's kind of a weird horde mode with a bunch of special super godlike powers. Tinker around with it if you want to. It's fine enough. Ulrika, people have talked about her a bunch. Free Kislev hero and Empire hero. Shadows Caster Vampire, so she has self-healing and she's unbreakable. She has crumbling, but she's not going to rout. Really good bow attacks. Also a good melee combatant. Makes her super expensive. Skip. Stability and performance. Fix an issue with the modded custom characters. Crash the game when opening recruitment lord. Whatever. I don't care about this. Apologies to the vocal cords of anyone who foolishly chose to verbalize these patch notes. Ha! Anyway. Stability stuff. Potential crash. Going into battle. Okay, so it's a bunch of dumb, stability stuff that we don't really need to talk about. Gameplay. You can now preview the landmark buildings you'll get access to in a settlement by hovering over it. That's actually sick. I don't play a ton of campaign, but when I do, it is really... It used to be annoying when it's like, this settlement has a special building. Okay, what special building? Is it worth traveling halfway across the world and conquering that territory to build a building that gives me 2% research rate and 200 gold? Alright, I don't know. So at least you can hover over it now and it's like, what building can I build here? That's cool. That's sick. New panel allows you to search for certain items on the campaign map. Oh, that's cool. Multiple buildings that were incorrectly marked as destructible have been updated game-wide. Okay, I don't care about that. Campaign map battle section for the Realm of Chaos and Immortal Empires. Campaign maps to ensure the correct battle titles are displayed. Okay, so that seems like a bug fix, not an update. Alright, new regions and provinces made their way into the Realm of Chaos and Immortal Empires. Not only that, the Earth's plates have shifted, causing some to find a new home elsewhere. Oh, okay. So campaign map got some adjustments and some changing around. That'll be fun. I think little changes like that are really good. Because one thing about me in campaign is sometimes I get stuck in a rut where I know the most effective thing to be doing, and it's hard not to do it. So if things get shifted up, it just kind of changes your calculations. All right, rules and systems, missions that require specific regions. This doesn't look important. Skip. AI rules and logic. Battle AI. Skip. I saw one thing in there that was nice. Cannons are much better at finding a target through holes in a wall that they create. That was a big problem. Where whenever you punch a hole in the wall with a cannon, it was really janky afterwards. Campaign AI. I'm kind of interested in this one, so I'll actually read it. Strategic threat calculations for mortal empires. Direct actions against the faction are now much more important in that calculation. The importance of distance and scaling has been increased, improving the way AI will select the most relevant threats. Nice. That means the Dark Elves won't declare war on the Empire for no reason and then not follow up on it at all. Cool. Further tweaks have been made to the AI's recruitment priorities to favor high-value units. Nice. Cool. Fix various cases of the AI trying to enter stances which were invalid, leading to it trying to perform moves which were invalid. Didn't know that was a problem, but alright. Control option for allied armies, not showing them being attacked by an enemy. Okay, bugs. Improved AI performance in the first turn of the game. Oddly specific, but we take those, I guess. Fix some cases where the AI attempted to calculate the strength of a force was resulting in incorrect behavior. Okay. That's whatever. Line of sight. They have an entire section for it? We updated the correct logic on various prop buildings to work better with line of sight issues across the battle maps. Oh, so this might be, yeah, lampstands, market stalls, tents. So it's like siege stuff. It's not traditional multiplayer things. Okay. Cool. I mean, we take improvements even if it doesn't directly affect multiplayer, which is what I usually focus on. Races and balance. Fix some inconsistencies with units not having the siege attacker attribute and Mantle of Gorak not being able to overcast via campaign skill tree. Okay, cool. Quality of life, some other factions have been struggling from the outset. There are some adjustments to be made to starting positions. So this is more campaign stuff. Xiaoming, Grease's Gold Tooth, Tehenu and Krokgar, Torox, Snikt. Wait, where did they move Snikt? Whatever. Helmengorst and the Fan Enchantress all got moved. Or nearby settlements were changed in strength. Well, that's hopelessly non-specific, but okay. I hope they don't move the Fan Enchantress, because she's, like, right where she needs to be. Spells. Well, this is a weird way of displaying this. Holy shit. They just put all of the spells, regardless of what lore it's in. Oh, God. Okay, let's go through it. Let's go. Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance. I think that's the Tomb King's Fate of Buna type spell. It got cost decreases that are pretty significant. Who the fuck is pinging me right now? If it's in the admin chat, I'll read it off stream. Hang on. Okay, cool. Anyway, Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance got a pretty significant cost decrease, like 20%-ish, which is nice. Vangeist's Revenge got a cost increase, which was probably warranted. Multiplayer, not so much, but campaign, it was really, really cheap to delete a lot of stuff. Kraken's Pull got a Winds of Magic cost increase? What? Why? That spell sucks. Why is it getting more expensive? It's so stupid. Okay. Plague got a Winds of Magic cost increase, but its expansion is quicker, so it got effectively a damage increase, but a cost increase. Okay, that's fine. It's not that useful in multiplayer, but campaign is good. Flamestorm, way higher explosion force, from 40 to 500. Movement speed is slower, so it'll stay on a certain unit for a little bit longer. And maximum angle change per movement frequency, up to 360. So now it looks like it can truly go in any direction at any moment in time, rather than kind of like an arc. But, okay. Fine. The Gem of Sunfire, don't know what that is. Toothcracker. Winds of Magic cost decrease, probably still not going to be a great spell, but it exists. Deathfrost cost decrease will actually make it quite a lot better as a single target spell. The biggest problem is how expensive it is. It's a fine spell except for its cost, so bringing the cost down is fine. Cursed Leper increase, fine. Rancid Visitation's cost decrease, rip. Nurgle's going to be real strong. Not that big of a change, but still. Talons of Night cost increase. Ooh, that was needed. Talon's Knight was so good. So the Winds of Magic cost decrease, pretty huge. Doom and Darkness. Winds of Magic cost decrease, that is a weird one. It's not a common spell, but it is a very good spell. So now that's going to be Fuego. Invocation of Heck cost increase, that is huge. It's only one Winds of Magic, but Invocation of Heck is spammed by every undead faction constantly. Well, the two that can take it. So cost increase is pretty significant. Dwellers Below, cost increase, fine. That spell wasn't really doing that well after the last nerf, but whatever. The Lore of Life is plenty strong with Earthblood and Regrowth, so I don't really care if their damage spell gets nerfed, because it's like, this lore is meant to be the healing lore, so as long as the healing spells are strong, we're fine. Healing would probably use a nerf for sure, but like, whatever. Dwellers getting nerfed isn't a big deal for me. Pit of Shades cost increase, fine. I don't think it was that oppressive in land battles right now. I know Dom players still hate it. That's not that bad of a Winds of Magic change. And that Winds of Magic still has Melkoth, which is really good, so it's fine. Looks like they moved the Phase army so she can capture Brianna in turn 1. Boo. Final Transmutation cost decrease. It did not need that, but okay. Doom and Darkness... wasn't Doom and Darkness up here? Yeah, Doom and Darkness again. Doom and Darkness Part 2, The Darkening. Got another Winds of Magic cost decrease. And now they listed its Overcast as getting a cost decrease. Okay, upper Doom and Darkness, not listing the other one. Curse of Midnight Wind, cost decrease, pretty huge. Wind Blast, yes, big cost decrease. Wind Blast sucks ass, but at least if it's really low Winds of Magic cost, then you could justify taking it. But 8 was way too much, 6 is much better. Still probably needs a little bit of a damage boost because it does like literally negative damage right now, but whatever. Light of Battle, maybe the worst spell in the game. Winds of Magic cost decrease down to 6. Let's go. Still not gonna fucking take it. That's the one where you turn Unbreakable for a little bit. Gork'll Fix It, Winds of Magic cost decrease. Night Shroud, Winds of Magic cost... Ooh, big Winds of Magic cost decrease from 11 down to 8 for Night Shroud. Night Shroud still probably sucks, but still, it's good. Final Transmutation, again. Final Transmutation Part 2. Winds of Magic cost decrease. I love how many of these are listed twice. Invocation of the Heck, again. Winds of Magic cost decrease. So many of the spells are listed twice. Renless, have I done much with Chaos Dwarves yet? Yeah, they seem fun. They're fine. I like them. Raise Dead cost increase is also there. Master of the Dead. Rework to be an intensity-based ability. Intensity of regeneration effect increases based on the number of entities that are killed within a 35-meter radius of Master of the Dead. Okay. So we were talking about this a bit. Vampire Counts got a lot of little buffs. Little nerfs. And I do wonder how that'll affect them, but you can kind of see it already happening. Invocation Heck and Raised Dead are the two most common spells. Both got a cost increase. Then Master of the Dead is one of their most popular AoE regens. That got a kill effect, so now you have to kill a bunch of stuff before you can start regenerating, which is pretty huge, because a lot of what makes the Vampire Count strong is the ability at the start of the game when you're advancing. If your opponent wants to kite you, you can send out Vargheists, take some damage, run back to your Necromancer, and heal up. Now, if his passive regen in that early phase of the game is lowered significantly, that means the Vampire Counts will have more damage that sticks on the advance. And they have to get into the melee, kill a bunch of stuff before they can start doing that regen. It can really switch how they abuse stuff. And are you real right now? And now the dog's howling. Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you missed much? No, we just went through Winds of Magic stuff. Mistwalker's Barrage. Eltharian's absolutely god-awful. Spell went from having 0 armor-piercing damage to 25. Projectile Mass went from 3 to 10, and it's now considered a magical attack. Cool. Entity Death counts allies as well, correct? I don't think it does. Maybe for the Master of the Dead it would, but any kill-based ability right now in the game does not count off allies. Shadow Shroud. Who has Shadow Shroud? Wait, 60 ward save. Who has Shadow Shroud? What the fuck? Bellacor's damage resistance goes up to 60%? Why? Why does he need 20 more ward save? What the fuck? What the fuck? And it got longer, more duration, and 20% more ward save? Why? Why? Why does he need that? That's bullshit. That's the stupidest thing I've seen. What the fuck? Lord of Torment, mana regenerator, up double heal amount. Is Lord of Torment Bellicor 2? The Dark Master went from a unique to uncommon, and the ability cost went down. Wait, Bellicor's getting buffs? No way he's getting buffs. His abilities got cheaper. He gets more Winds of Magic. He gets a little less healing. Sure, that's a nerf. His Shadow Shroud lasts longer and got 20% more ward save. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Did they nerf his stats? We'll find out. For now, we're in the abilities. That was fucked up. Whispers in the Darkness minus leadership. Instead of 8, it's 6. Okay, so that's a nerf to him. Master of Sacred Places, effect range 55. Soul Hunters, ward save down from 22 to 10. I don't know who that's related to. Man, I wish they would... Why are they listing the abilities? Not tied at all to who they are. I have to know what each of these abilities is by heart to know what the fuck we're talking about. Reliquary Binding now heals half as quickly. Okay, so that's I think that's the Mortis Engine healing, because the Unholy Lodestone is followed up. Okay, both of them. So Unholy Lodestone gives leadership, but its healing is cut in half. So the Vampire Counts took healing hits on 3 fronts. With Reliquary Binding, the Unholy Lodestone, and the Master Dead. All those heals took nerfs. Invocation to Enact took nerfs. Raise Dead took nerfs. This is brutal. Blade of Shadow. Don't know whose that is. Its base weapon damage went up to 50%. Its armor piercing went down from 100 to 50. Melee attack from 40 down to 20. Don't know who the Blade of Shadow belongs to. Maybe they should attach it to the character it belongs to. Soul Hunters? Oh, yeah, you're right. I think that's Slanesh. Okay, now we're getting into the faction-specific stuff, and I don't have to keep guessing at what's going on. Beastmen. Dev note, there's not too many changes for the Beastmen this time around, although they should benefit quite nicely from the upgrade to articulated vehicles that have been made. We've given best scores a knife buff too, as they're underperforming across the board. This should improve their combat potential as elite infantry. Reliquary Binding is the AoE heal in the Grail Relique? That's not true. The Grail Relique does not have an AoE heal, you liar. Anyway. General updates. Okay, quest battles, don't care. Campaign, fix an issue where the Beastman's Herdstone. Okay, don't care. Skip. Units best score herd, +4 leadership, +6 melee defense. That's pretty good. That's fine. I don't think best scores will be great, but that's a fine change. Cygor got 8 melee defense. I got pinged again. What the fuck? Who's pinging me and why? Okay. Croc's Banneripper's best score herd also got the same treatment as the other guys, but they also got a melee attack buff. Actually, they didn't get a melee defense buff at all. They got a melee attack buff. Significant one, too. Okay. Razor Chariot Bounce got mass increase, which will make them do more damage. Tuskor Chariots got splash attack stuff. That's fine. Eye of More Sleep got 9 melee defense, like its cousin. That's fine. Minotaurs are great weapons. Got a bonus versus large nerf of 3. Also fine. Minotaurs are doing good. Fuck, what did I miss? All of the spell and ability changes so far. Alright. Fix Morgur's Herald of Corruption skill not applying corruption to adjacent provinces. That's dumb. That's dumb. That is campaign stuff. Nobody plays campaign. Nobody. Bretonnia. Bretonnia's had a rough time lately, so to help a little, their Latvian cavalry has been given a few sturdy buffs. In the future, we hope to bring Bretonnia's battle capacities up a notch to keep some of the new factions. Interested in not over-egging that particular pudding. We'll be keeping a close eye on the progress. Okay, so a patch buff that they're hoping to do more buffs, but they'll see. Oh, wow. Okay, already starting off strong. Battle Pilgrims got a cost decrease, which is really strong. Grail Knights, melee defense and bonus versus large increase. Grail Guardians, melee attack, charge bonus, and armor piercing buffs. Hippogriff Mounts got higher mass, meaning they do more damage on the charge and can push out of things easier. Pegasus Knights, who the fuck keeps pinging me? Okay, it's Cyrus. Talking about Soul Hunters, okay. Pegasus Knights, more hit points, more melee attack, more melee defense, more charge bonus, higher walk speed, higher run speed, better charge speed. So big buffs to Pegasus Knights. Nobody plays campaign, excuse you. It was, yeah, I was joking because this game is mostly campaign, but my channel is mostly multiplayer focused. Doesn't mean I hate campaign. It also just means I don't know enough about campaign to really provide good criticism. We're all Pegasus Knights. Hit points increase, melee defense increase, charge bonus, walk speed, run speed, charge speed, entity mass increases. So all of the Pegasus mounts are getting a bunch of health, it looks like, and the mounts get the same thing. Battle programs ROR got a 50 cost decrease, upkeep cost decrease. Okay, otherwise it's fine. Unicorn mounts actually took a nerf. They're slower. Their top speed is faster, their mass is higher, but they're slower on the charge and walking. Okay. Then technology stuff that I don't know anything about. Demons of Chaos. Demons of Chaos haven't received that many changes at first glance. They do benefit from the changes of the mono god rosters. Ooh. Okay. Our changes here center mostly on Bellicor, has received a few nerfs after our data showed him overperforming in most cases. And yet you gave him 20% more ward save! How dare you? Alright, fix the Demon Prince's Reverence building chains. I don't know these things, man. Arcalux, Prince of Fury. Multiplayer cost is down to 2,000. Let's go, Arcalux! You have a reason to exist now. You're not just worse than basic Demon Prince. Yes! At least you could be the cheap option for only a paltry 2,000 gold. 1/6 of the army. Alright. Bellicor, cost increase, upkeep increase, hit points decrease, and multiplayer cost increase. Yeah, those are pretty brutal nerfs overall. Like, losing 1,000 HP and costing more is pretty bad for Bellicor. But he's really strong, so I still think we'll see him. I just don't think he'll be as dominantly OP. We'll have to see. And then all the Demon Princes got a 200 cost decrease. Okay. Svarik is probably going to be the Meta Lord. The Zinch one. Right. Dark Elves. Dark Elves are in a pretty good place right now. Battle-wise, they seem to have been indirectly hit thanks to a bug fix where riders on their war machines are firing more projectiles than it intended. This issue is skewing the performance of Scourge Runner chariots and Bloodrack Shines quite significantly. What? Wait, Scourge Runners were firing more projectiles than intended? Huh. That actually could be huge. If Scourge Runners were accidentally doing a lot more damage than they were meant to, if that gets fixed, I mean... Huh. Okay. That could be a big hit to Dark Elves. Noticeable buff to Shades, which helps diversify the weapon variants a bit more and reduce the recruitment time campaign. Okay. General fixed some banners. Minor faction of Clark Rod will start with their faction leader on the map as intended. That's fine. Haggrave's skin assets have been updated on the top bar. Fix an issue where the Black Ark was only displacing water on one side. That's kind of funny. When disbanded, Dark Elf Lords will no longer gain another name of power, which would be dumb. And Black Arks can now be recruited via allied recruitment? Hold on, that's actually kind of insane. Call up Malekith. Malekith, give me a Black Ark. He's like, sure, bro. And sends one over. If you know about the Dark Elf lore, that's why I find that so funny. Because, like, Black Arks are, like, super important. And the fact that you could just call up Malekith and be like, yo, send me a fucking Black Ark. And the fact that he would ever say anything besides, what, fuck you, no, and hang up. Okay. Research the quest battle, intro scene for Mouse Darkblade's Rise of Darkness, and Warps of Arcane battles. Cool. On to the units, the juice, the sauce. Black Ark Corsair Handbows take a 30% armor-piercing damage nerf. Bleak Swords get more armor, less armor-piercing damage. Crone Hellebron gets, oh my god, double her armor on her Manticore mount. She still probably is going to suck, but that's a good change. Cool. Cold One Chariots and Cold One Chariot mounts. Faster speed, slower acceleration, higher mass. Okay, got it. So they'll hit harder and do more damage, but they're a little slower on the draw. Dark Pegasus mounts and Raven's Heralds got the same changes as the Pegasuses, so that's fine. High Beastmaster on a Scourge Runner Chariot got mass... What? Entity mass from 700 to 1,000, but entity mass from 1,500 to 1,000. I think that means, like, the cold ones on the front, but then the Chariot. I don't know, man. That's a weird patch. That's a weird patch note. Lokir Fellheart. Yes, he's taking nerfs. Yeah! Lokir Felhart was the bane of the multiplayer meta. We saw him literally every single game, and if you don't sense sarcasm in this, that's because we haven't, but for some reason he's losing 6 melee attack. Fuck yeah! Take that, Lokir, you piece of shit. Your reign of terror is over now. Anyway, joking aside, he did get 10 more base weapon damage, 30 more armor piercing damage, and 100 gold cost decrease, but I don't know where that melee attack nerf came from. I don't know why I needed it. Malekith on Seraphon, weapon damage buffs, cost increase of 150 gold, and 3 less melee attack. That's non-consequential. Yeah, that's not going to matter. Losing 3 melee attack and 150 gold, but gaining more weapon strength on a mount that's already really strong for him, and Soul Stealer didn't take any healing nerfs. It's Malekith on his dragon still going to be really strong. Rip. Morathi's mount of the Pegasus just gets the same changes all of the Pegasus mounts got. The Dark Elf Master multiplayer cost went up by 150. Yes! The reign of terror of the Dark Elf Master is over. Some of these are so fucking random. I got 20 by my capital, yeah. Can you play Demons of Chaos quick battles yet? That's actually a great question, and they didn't say you could, but really hoping you can, because Demons of Chaos are not a problem. Anyway, Rakarth, more damage, like all the Black Dragon mounts, they did get 100 gold cost increase. Ravagers of Rakarth, entity mass increase. Shades with dual weapons, turns to recruit down to 1 from 2, which is actually pretty huge if you're playing campaign. Melee attack goes up by 4, melee defense goes down by 6, making them more of an archer unit, which is weird. I don't know what the purpose of that was. Yeah, I don't know. And then their cost got 50 gold cost decrease. Shades of Greatswords also down to 1 turn to recruit. Melee defense up by 2, bonus versus infantry up by 2, multiplayer cost down by 50. Those are fine. Those are fine changes. And then update the source input for Murderous Prowess to match the initial implementation. It now takes deaths from both alliances as currencies. Smart. Dwarves. Now that the Great Shame has finally reared its fiery bovine head, the dwarves have upgraded their shields for their melee lords, heroes, and infantry, along with having their recruitment costs tweaked. Nice. Fixed an issue with the model variation used by the Dwarf Lord characters. I'll pretend I know what that means. Fixed a pathfinding issue in dwarf minor settlements to prevent units from burrowing under the terrain. Aw, now we can't have any fun. So dual weapons have lesser defense than greatswords? It does look like that, yes. Fixed Thorgrim Grudgebearer being a wide elector count. What? Fixed Thorgrim Grudgebearer being a wide elector count. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what bug they're talking about. But I immediately start thinking of, like, wide as in just, like, those memes about, like, really big, fat characters walking down hallways. That's kind of hilarious. Who the frick is pinging me right now? Oh, thanks, Cyrus. Okay, cool. Thork Ironbrow's mission change for confederating Karak Azul again. He is currently able to confederate the normal way as he does in Warhammer 2. Nice. Cool. Units Flame Cannon, 100 gold cost decrease. Good, that's fine. Minus blast and charges, base explosion damage down by 3, armor piercing explosion damage down by 1. Overall, that's about a 15% nerf on their damage. Seems fine. Rune Lord, minus 50 gold, new meta. Rune Smith, minus 100 gold, actually good. That one I won't shit talk. That one's actually good. Lord, Thane, Dwarf Warriors, Longbeards, Ironbreakers, and all associated regiments from now got silver shields instead of bronze shields because of course they did. Their shields should be much better than goblins. Thork Ironbrow on his Anvil of Doom plus 50 gold! It's over, baby! The reign of terror of Thork Ironbrow is done. It's not. It's not. He's going to be really, really strong. Okay. How is that the new wide is the best the elector counts? His portrait in the elector screen became a Peppa wide. Cathay. Cathay are generally doing pretty good at the moment, but there was also cost corrections needed for their lords and multiplayer. Jade Warriors have also received some tweaks to bring them in line with comparable units from other factions. The Rice Terraces of Turtlefield now deal less fall damage to chariots. Wait, that was still in the fucking game? Wait. Wait, you could still kill your own chariots by driving down those goddamn hills? I thought they fixed that. Why was that still the game? I haven't used those maps forever because of the bug where sometimes single entities would just walk towards the corner of the map and you couldn't tell them to stop until they hit the corner. I stopped. I was doing that. I assumed they'd fixed the rice terraces killing your chariots like years ago. What the fuck? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video from when Warhammer 3 released that has like 100,000 views on it, which is, it's my by far best performing thing ever. And it's like Todd Howard's quote of all of it just works. And it's chariots driving down this rice paddy and like all of them die before they even get to the enemy because they're just falling off these rice paddies. It's fucking hilarious. I thought they fixed it because it was such an egregious bug. I just never checked. I just assumed it got fixed. Okay. And fixed a bug which caused Wei Jin to lack 10 settlement slots if you recaptured it. Ooh, that would suck. Yeah, good change. Alright, units. Astromancer, minus 400 mass on his Warjing War Compass. That's not very consequential. Actually, it's plus 400 mass, but it's not very consequential. He doesn't really charge or use it too much, so it just kind of helps him get out of blobs. But that model is so large that if he's stuck with Monstrous Infantry or Cav, he's not going anywhere anyway. Dragonblood Shugenin Lord, plus 200 gold cost increase. That was really, really needed. She was way too cheap for what she did. She was an amazing combat lord, a really good caster, and super cheap, so good fix. The Jade Longma's got the same treatment as the Pegasuses, so we're not going to go over it all again. And cost increases for the other lord as well, just the other Lord of Magic. Okay. Fire and Rocket Battery, 100 more hit points, doesn't matter. Granite Cannon, 100 more hit points, doesn't matter. Jade Warrior cost 1 shield. 50 gold cost decrease, which is random. Alright, they didn't need a cost decrease, but fine, I guess. Jade Warriors minus 2 melee defense. Problem solved, all done. Jade Warriors with Halberds, minus 2 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense. Because you know those Jade Warriors killing stuff way too fast and lasting not nearly long enough. Very strange change, but okay. Young the Storm Dragon, 2,000 gold cost decrease. Wait. I thought she was getting a cost increase, not a cost decrease. What the fuck? Huh. So Meow got buffed. Okay. I don't love that. Because Miao Yang was already pretty strong. Zhao Ming got the same treatment at least, so he's still cheaper. I don't love it. I will say, before anybody gets doom and gloom about Cathay, chariots exist now and they didn't used to. So Cathay, I think Cathay is going to take some serious hits in the meta, but it is interesting that on the whole they actually got buffs, which is kind of funny. Cool. Greenskins. Greenskins have benefited greatly from this patch and have a lot of lovely changes to talk about. I would agree. A lot of what I saw in early access had a bunch of greenskin buffs. So let's see. Savage Orcs and Savage Orc Boar Boys. Anything with Savage in the name got buffs. They got some melee defense stuff, which should increase their staying power in combat. Pump Wagons were severely underperforming. Yes, they were. So they received a bit of a redesign to help them stand out a bit. They have 12 entities per unit, which is kind of wild. And they've given the Arachnarok Spiders a bit more leadership and buffed their damage. I didn't notice that. Not that, like, I tested it too much. Like I said, all the stuff I had from before was just literally testing out units on the new patch. I didn't have notes, so I didn't check Arachnaroks at all. So I don't know what that is. Grimgor is once again at last not a big green boy. Yes! Grimgor Ironhide short victory conditions now include the Chaos Dwarves. Yes! Goblin Rock Loggers not having a projectile trail. Okay. And re-added unique garrisons for Skarsniks and Wurzeg's Mang Settlement Garrison. Yes! This is the one campaign thing I'll get excited about. Fuck you, idiots. I'm going to talk about this for a second. You might be like, campaign sucks, human boy. Campaign's stupid, human boy. Nobody plays campaign, human boy. But I do sometimes. When I do, it's a ton of Skarsnik. It's a ton of Wurzeg. Wurzeg was my first campaign ever, and I played it like 4 times. The only campaign I've played more than Wurzeg's is Queeks. And I get a special building again. Not just dumb, normal bullshit. Skarsnik also gets a cool building. As my second favorite Greenskin Lord, I love it. I love it. This was just the Human Boy update for no reason. CA came to me and they said, hey kid. And I said, I'm in the shower, what the fuck? And they're like, what are your two favorite Greenskin Lords? And I said, Skarsnik and Wurzag, but I am in the shower. I am busy. I don't need this right now. They said, we're giving them special buildings. I said, get out of my house! They did not get out of my house. I had to call the police, but they did give me the special buildings. All right. Enough distractions. Arachnarch Spider and the Regiment of Renown. Plus 10 leadership for both. Plus 10 base weapon damage. Plus 30 armor piercing. And their bonus versus large went up by 6. Actually pretty good changes. Pretty good changes. Nice. Azhag the Slaughter on his Mount Skullmuncher. Now gets all of his items back when mounted. I pointed out in a previous video, but let's fucking go. He finally gets his goddamn items. And he got the Spider Banner, which he didn't use to have in Warhammer 2, as compensation. So he has an extra item. And he has 220 more hit points. The 220 more hit points isn't a big deal, but we'll take it. So Azhag, buffs. I think he's going to be probably the second best Lord on the Greenskin roster. I still think Wurzag is the best, but yeah. To swamp things, River Troll, more melee attack, less damage, more armor piercing damage, fine. Feral Wyvern, campaign exclusive unit, so it doesn't really matter that much, but it got a leadership and, wow, a big leadership change. Jesus Christ. 1,200 hit points, 5 leadership, but 1,200 hit points is a lot. Goblin Great Shaman mount of the Arachnarch Spider. It got the same changes as the other one. Cool, cool. Grom the Paunch got higher mass. He'll be easier to get out of combat, and on the charge he should do more damage. That's fine. Grom's been struggling since game 2. Wurzag is still kind of snipeable. That bone staff does work, yeah. I always take him for, like, the army-wide buff, not about Wurzag himself, and he's relatively cheap, but Wurzag himself isn't that impressive. It's what he does for you. Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, Lava Spider Riders, and Regiment Renown. Firing arc 360 from 60? They could always fire 360. What? What? Okay, I'm going to ignore that. Doesn't exist. Goblin Wolf Chariot, firing arc 60 to 360. They could already shoot 360. Attribute added, Firewall Smoothing. We missed adding the Firewall Smoothing attribute onto the ROR. This will be corrected for patch 3.1. I thought they could Firewall Moving, though. Maybe it's just talking about adding it to the unit card? I don't know. Their mass got almost doubled, which will mean they'll do a lot more damage on the charge. And their speed and acceleration got tweaked a bit. Lava Arachnarch Spider, same changes as the other spiders. Plus some melee attack, plus some melee defense, but that's a campaign exclusive. Loki Bogey, Spore Splotus, Snotling Pump Wagons got the same changes as the other pump wagons. And some damage changes. Okay. Orc Boar Boys, higher mass, means they do more damage on the charge. Orc Boar Boy Biggins and Regiment Renown, higher mass, they do more damage on the charge. Orc War Boss on the Wyvern Mount, plus 1,000 health. Pretty huge. Pretty huge right there. Probably still campaign focused because I don't think you'll see him in multiplayer, but still pretty good. Orc Boar Chariots, plus 2 melee attack, plus 2 armor piercing damage. Entity mass is higher, plus chariots just work now, so cool. Savage Orcs, plus 2 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense. Nice. Savage Orc Aura Boys, plus 2 melee defense. Savage Orc Biggins, plus 3 melee defense. Savage Orc Boar Boys, plus 4 melee defense, plus an entity mass that'll do more damage on the charge. Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, plus 4 melee defense, plus 350 entity mass that'll do more damage on the charge. Snotling Pump Wagons, 12 models instead of 4. Additional hit points, 1,100 to 400? I think that means per model or something. I don't know what that is. That's weird. That's weird looking. I don't like it. Charge bonus down, base weapon damage down, armor piercing weapons down, damage down. But there are 12 models, so overall it's a buff. Excuse me. Flappos, same changes except they got a hit point buff. And that's about it. Spiky Rollers, same changes. Their hit points went down. I don't know what the fuck. Why are these different? Additional hit points versus just hit points. What the hell? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Buffs. Stone Trolls, base weapon damage up. Arm piercing weapon damage down. Both by 1. Huge changes. Fixed Wurzag's Colossal Warpaint skill, applying physical damage resistance to rogue idol units twice. Oh, come on. Let the rogue idols have some fun. Fix Azhag, missing his unique items when on Skull Mulch Mount. Okay. Mandatory Orc Boar Boys buffs per patch. Okay. High Elves. Few corrections and changes for the High Elves this time around, but overall they are performing quite well. A lot of the Seaguard and Chariot mounts have received a cost correction. War Lions have received a chunky buff, and the fire resistance of units of Caledonian nobility have been reduced slightly. With the coming of Chaos Dwarves, we also remove flaming attacks from the Dragon's melee weapons so that they remain competitive against this new race of fire-resistant units. Cool. Fix the textures of the Arcane Phoenix. Cool. Malhandir's left leg is now skinned correctly. Now I want to know how it was skinned incorrectly. Oh well. Alright, we're gonna start downloading that. Fix the exploit where Eltharion could capture prisoners from reinforcing armies when in a lightning strike battle. Fist of Sonar's mark for death mission. Markers reviewing enemies in the ambush stance. Okay. Alistair the White Lion on his Lion Chariot of Christ. His mass got increased by 600, which is actually a lot. And his multiplayer cost is down 100. Perfect. He's still probably a campaign exclusive unit, so you still probably can't take him. But cool. Archmage on the Ithilmar Chariot mount. Almost doubled mass and 50 cost decrease. Cool. Dragon Princes and Imrik took a 15% fire resistance nerf. Ithilmar Chariots, 150 cheaper. And almost double mass. That's actually huge. Loudon Seaguard, 50 gold cost increase, so they just undid the buff, and now they're back to where they were. They'll be fine. Lion Chariots, 50 gold cost decrease, entity mass almost doubled, and upkeep cost down. That's kind of huge again. But the charge changes, they could do a lot of damage now. We'll see. They probably still suck, but oh well. Ithilmar Chariot mounts for all of the type of people. Okay, we got it. Rahagri's Pride, the War Lions of Krace, Arwar, got more melee attack, more missile resist, and more mass. Nice. All the dragons lost their fire attack. But they are saying this change is made to ensure that High Elf dragons remain competitive versus Chaos Dwarves, so I guess they're trying to like cushion the blow. Still, losing flaming attacks hurts versus every other faction, so it's overall a nerf, but sure. And then Tyrannok Chariots and War Lions got the buffs you mentioned. Not significant changes. I think High Elves will still be strong. I don't think they'll be super amazing top tier, but they'll be strong. All right, Khorne. Khorne has only received some minor changes this time around. They'll be watching these closely since they target the Khorne's key units. Fleshhounds and Minotars have been overperforming, so they've been rebalanced. I will say, I need to sneeze. I will say, that concerns me a lot, because Fleshhounds and Minotars are the only reason Khorne is viable right now. So I really hope they got other stuff. Bloodletters and Forsaken of Khorne have received a small buff, while Chosen of Khorne have been made slightly cheaper to make them more accessible. Okay, that's fine. So, nerf the overperforming units, but buff the underperforming. That is good design philosophy. We'll see how it pans out. But Khorne is currently heavily carried by those two things that they're nerfing. Scarbrand will now make up his mind much faster when moving to engage an enemy unit in melee. That says it's under the campaign exclusive change for some reason, but I have noticed that as well in multiplayer, that Scarbrand is a lot more responsive. I had a video up recently of me versus Dov plays. He was on the Chaos Dwarves, and Scarbrand pretty much soloed the whole army, so that was nice. Anyway, demonic units, Bloodletters and Blood Crushers both getting 5 more leadership to make that demonic instability harder to achieve. Cool. Also, Bloodletters get 5 more armor. Exalted Bloodthirster got a cost decrease. Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne got more leadership. Fleshhounds of Khorne got less damage, less melee attack, but not a ton. Scarbrand got 100 gold cost decrease. That's fine. I like all of those changes, honestly. Chosen of Khorne, 50 gold cost decrease. Fine. Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons, 150 gold cost decrease. That's actually huge. Because Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons are sick. They're sick as fuck. That's a big buff, honestly. Chaos Knights of Khorne, 1 more leadership, pog. And then more damage, good. Lance has got the same treatment, fine. Exalted Hero of Khorne on a Gorby's Chariot. What? In multiplayer, they got a 50 gold cost increase. In campaign, they got their price cut in half. Jesus. Weird. Forsaken Corn, 15 more armor. Does that mean they still have dog shit melee defense? Yeah. Minotaurs of Corn, -2 melee attack, -3 melee defense, -10 charge bonus. Ooh, that's tough. That is tough, actually. Minotaurs of Corn's great weapons got the same treatment, but they also lost 3 bonus versus large. Oh, Spellbound, you're right. You're right. I think you're right. The Chosen Corn dual weapons were already 1500. This is just delayed. Yeah. I think you guys are right. Still, the Mino nerfs are actually pretty sizable. We'll see if the rest of this can make up for it. Damn. Kislev. Kislev hasn't been doing great in battle, so these changes act as a first step towards improving things. Armored Kossars and Zargard have received some melee buffs to boost their frontline staying power. Oh, that's actually huge. Armored Kossars are already beasts in the front line. Armored Kossars are one of the few things on this roster that's actually any good. All the Kislev cavalry units get a mass boost to mass some of their contemporaries from the races. Ice Guards have also gained some additional missile penetration. Okay. Reduce the numbers of factions at war with Kastalton. Kastalton's making some friends. That's fun. And Katarina now gets the magical attacks and frostbite on her warbear. That's a big change. That's a big buff. Damn. Oathbros of Tor now correctly have the Birebud passive ability. It was funny when they didn't have it. Fixed a bug where AI-controlled Little Grom did not behave as intended, leading to them attacking the wrong target or not attacking at all. Smart. Wins the magic will no longer be capped at 20 for the Ice Court's final battle. That is a big change, because I don't know why it would be capped at 20. That's terrible. Alright, Armored Kossars. +4 melee attack and +2 melee defense. This was already a great unit, and it's just getting even better. Armored Kossars are super, super good. Great weapons got similar changes, plus some armor-piercing damage, -1 regular damage. Okay. Zargard with great weapons, 5 more melee attack, and more damage. Griffin Legion and Heavy War Sleds getting mass increases. Again, we've talked about, but your mass increases how much damage you do on the charge. Horse Archers 50 gold cost decrease, +2 melee defense, +10 armor. That's a good number of changes in a row. We might start seeing Kislev Horse Archers. The problem is just that Skirmish Cav hasn't been particularly meta for a while. Like, they haven't had too much to do. It's not as much the Kislevite Horse Archers were bad, it's that Horse Archers in general aren't very good. So, we'll see if that matters to them. Ice Guard, they raised the value so the projectile will penetrate and deal damage to more targets per volley. I tested this, and I really didn't notice it going through things, but sure. Ice Guard now have missile penetration. We'll see if it works. Gossified Dervishes, 10 more armor. Light War Sleds, more mass. Little Grom, more mass. Streltsy, enemy size for allowing splash attacks to change from medium to small. So this will make them better in melee combat when they get dove on. Okay. Zargard got the buffs you mentioned for the ROR, but melee attack +2 base weapon damage and armor piercing damage up, and the great weapons, armor piercing and base damage up for melee attack. Warhorse mounts got 200 more mass, and Winged Lancers got 200 more mass. Mossy, that's true, but I tested it, and it didn't, like, looking at it, it didn't seem like the arrows were penetrating, because arrows already come down at, like, a vertical-ish type thing. So if it pierces you, it's probably just going to hit the ground beneath you. So I don't know. I don't know how good that's going to be. We'll have to see in practice. One X Hazel cameo? Oh yeah, she's behind me. Lizardmen. Lots of cost changes for Lizardmen. Most of their big dinos getting a slight discount. Woo! I love the big dinos. We also buffed up Croxors a bit since they sucked. Ancient Salamanders also received recruitment time reduction among other buffs, which should help it thrive in campaign. Spirit of Tepak Quaddle has also had its bound spell switched out to make it a more viable pick. Ooh! Okay, that's interesting to me. Okay. Fixed issues or the post-battle captive options and fighting as chaos races. They'll now match what was given to Warhammer 2. Okay. It now has only one primary building chain for Lizardmen as intended. That's fine. We fixed the issue where a Tzeentch unit would appear in an allied army when playing a Lizardmen quest battle. I like to think it's one blue horror just like walking with all these Lizardmen like, we're supposed to be here. Okay, Ancient Stegodon, minus 50 gold. Bestowed Solar Engine, 2 more ammunition, which is actually huge. I mean, it's like 10% more ammunition. Blessed Carnosaur. I'm going to skip the Blessed units because they don't matter for us. Chameleon Stalkers, minus 25 gold. Quaddle, minus 150 gold. Ooh! Quaddle got a lot cheaper. Sacred Croxagore ROR got more hit points, 6 more melee defense. They got perfect vigor. They lost all of their physical resist. They gained missile resist. Interesting. I don't hate the changes. Feral Carnosaur, minus 50 gold. Feral Troglodon, minus 100 gold. ROR Carnosaur, minus 50 gold. Krokgar on Grimlock, minus 50 gold. Red Crystal Skink Chief on Ancient Stegodon, minus 50 gold. Skink Chief on a Mount Stegodon, minus 50 gold. Skink Chief on Ancient Stegodon. Okay, anybody on other mounts, all their mounts got minus 50 gold. We got it. Skink Oracle, minus 150 gold. Okay. The Thunderous one, minus 50 gold. The Pale Death, Feral Troglodon ROR, minus 100 gold. Croxagores, plus 4 melee defense. Wait, plus 4 melee attack, plus 6 melee defense, plus 5 more weapon damage, and their bonus for infantry and down by 5. Cool. They needed the buffs. Sacred Croxagores, more hit points, more melee defense, makes them tankier. Ancient Salamander, half the recruitment time, 1,000 more hit points, and a faster projectile makes it harder to dodge. Very nice, very nice. Salamander Hunting Pack, faster projectiles, and a longer range. And Spirit of Tephawk, lost 150 gold, which is good. They lost Shield of Thorns and Banishment. Instead, they got Earthblood and Barona's Time Warp. Okay. More healing for the Lizardmen. I don't honestly love that. Okay. I think Lizards are going to be really top tier right now, because they're already kind of getting realized to be strong at the end of the last patch. And then with no nerfs and only buffs, while other factions got nerfed, I think Lizardmen are going to be really, really strong. Oracle 250? Yeah, you're right. 250, wow, that's a lot. Norska. Norska received a few targeted buffs from their underperforming units. Mammoths are cheaper. Famir now get the Scaly Skin bonus from Tabletop, and Marauder Champions with great weapons have ironed out a bit. Ice Wolf Chariots also received a considerable buff to their missile weapon, which I tested, and it still sucks ass. Cool. Marauder Chieftain and War Mammoth, 300 gold cheaper. That's it. Feral Mammoth, 100 gold cheaper. War Mammoth, 100 gold cheaper. Soul Crusher, 100 gold cheaper. All Mammoths are 100 gold cheaper. Famir Balefiends got 10% more missile resist. Marauder Champions lost a melee attack, and then they lost damage. Marauder Champions with great weapons lost melee attack, gained 8 melee defense. Cool. Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots got 5 armor. Their missile damage doubled. Still sucks, but it doubled, and their mass increased by a lot. Famir Warriors, minus 4 melee attack. And it doesn't mention it here, but it is in the game. They have a bonus versus large now. So it doesn't mention it here, but they got bonus versus large, which they didn't used to have before. So minus melee attack, plus 25% missile resist, plus base weapon damage, minus armor piercing. And then secretly, plus bonus versus large. Famir Warriors, great weapons, plus 2 melee attack, minus 6 melee defense, 1 charge bonus, 25% missile resist, and minus 2 bonus versus large. I love how they said we're going to buff Famir, but in practice, kind of made Famir worse. Less armor piercing, more base. No one cares about that. Less melee attack is bad. And the bonus versus large isn't listed here. But the great weapons took a melee attack buff, a big melee defense nerf. They got some missile resist. They lost some bonus versus large. But they're more expensive than Famir Warriors, who just got bonus versus large. So there's no reason to take the great weapons. And you should just take the basic Famir Warriors. Like, Famir Warriors barely got buffed, and great weapons honestly got nerfed, because 6 melee defense is a lot. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Mistwalker's got the same treatment. Frostworm, plus 10 leadership. Ooh. And plus damage. Ooh, Frostworm's going to be chunky. The Cold Voider has 80 leadership, too. Jesus Christ. Nurgle. Nurgle hasn't been feeling great for a while. We've targeted some changes that problem units. Rotflies, Plague Drones, Plague Toads, and Pox Riders all have received considerable buffs. Also, the minus 5 speed reduction across the entire army has been removed. Ooh. Okay. Barons of the Bog, plus cost, plus leadership, minus base damage, plus armor piercing damage, and they are faster with higher mass. Okay. Herald of Nurgle Mouse on the Mount on the Rockfly just got some mass. Nurgling's splash tax down to 1. Okay. All Rotflies got a mass increase. Okay. Plague Drones of Nurgle got 2 more models. 100, Actually, it's just 40. 40 more hit points, which is inconsequential. 3 more melee attack, more arm piercing weapon damage, and more mass. It's fine buffs. I don't think Plague Drones will be very good, but it's fine. Plague Drones with Death's Heads, same changes. Still probably not going to be very good. Pox Riders of Nurgle, plus 50 gold, plus 5 leadership, plus armor piercing damage, minus base. Those feel very minor, the Pox Rider changes. I don't think they're that good. Plague Bearer's got armor and leadership. Nice. When is the current season of Urban League ending? It already ended. Season 4 will start probably Monday of next week. Probably. Anyway, Plague Toads and Nurgle, these guys got big buffs. They are 50 gold, more expensive. Yes. But their leadership's up. Base weapon damage down. Armor piercing is up. And they just actually hit stuff better. Yeah. Oh, and their armor piercing went up by 11. So that's actually significant. For a second there, I was like, wait. I missed something. Rotflies got 2 more models. A couple more hit points. Some melee attack. Some armor piercing damage. But mostly it's just their flying units look better now. I'll say that these buffs are underwhelming for the Rotflies and the Pox Riders. The Plague Toads are legitimately good, but the other two are still... they're not very good. Mortal units of Nurgle got the -5 trait removed, so who cares? Run speed, charge speed, run speed, charge speed, run speed, charge speed. Skip, skip, skip. Chosen of Nurgle got a 50 gold cost decrease. Other than that, it's run speed, charge speed. Chosen Nurgle with great weapons, 50 gold cost decrease. That was run speed, charge speed. Chaos Knights of Nurgle, 1 more leadership. Fuck yeah. Plus some damage, run speed, charge speed. Same for the Lances. War Shrine of Nurgle, speed, speed. Exalted Hero of Nurgle is 50 gold more expensive. That's fine. Everything else is run speed and charge speed. Okay, cool. Ogres haven't been doing that great in battles as of late. Are you sure about that, though? Are you sure about that? Grease's has had a few token buffs, although we still recognize he'll likely have to go further. Ogre Pistols and Cavalry have received some attention, give them a bit more impact across the board. I tested Mournfangs. Mournfangs still feel like they suck ass, but I guess that means Crushers are going to be better again. How many seasons did I miss? Just 1? We are entering season 4. I don't remember how many you missed. Okay. Crushers with Iron Fists, more damage. Crushers with Great Weapons, more damage. Someone was saying they got melee defense, but it's not in the patch notes. Now, not everything's in the patch notes sometimes. They make mistakes, but it doesn't look like it. It just looks like more damage. Grease's Gold Tooth, turn speed and acceleration. Woo! But what they're not mentioning is also his animation's got a lot better and he can actually swing at stuff now. Nalbar Scribe Launcher, speed. Iron Guts, plus 10 armor, plus 5 bonus for infantry, plus 2 melee defense. That's fine. They're little buffs, but it's okay. Iron Blaster got 50 gold cheaper, and then, you know, speed updates, I guess. Maneaters got 4 more ammunition and a better calibration distance. Huh. So they might be more accurate, if I'm reading that correctly. More ammo, more accurate. Okay. Mournfang Cav, 100 gold cost decrease. They definitely needed that because they suck. Iron Fists and Great Weapons got the same treatment. Their main problem is that their stats are really good, but their models don't work very well. I mean, that has not been fixed yet. Powder Guts got a buff, which they did not need. Ooh, but their accuracy went from 33 to 10. That's brutal. Okay, that might on the end be a nerf. Damn. And Sky Striders got magic attacks. Okay. That's fine. Skavens. These changes don't exist, but if they did, they'd go something like this. Nice. Poison Globadiers and Mortars have had their AP ratios flattened out a bit, while Doom Wheels, Plague Monks, and Censer Bearers received some buffs to make them more viable. Hooray! Added +5 leadership to Rat Ogres in the Skavens Technologies tree? Oh, okay. I'm taking a look at stuff. Destroyed version of the Plague Furnace now uses the Plague Furnace model instead of incorrectly using the Warp Lightning Cannon model. That's funny. Fixed an issue where one of Thrott's unclean's weapons docked incorrectly on his mustering stance. Okay. Sure. They now have access to their Brightstone Mine landmark in Mount Gunbad. I don't even know what that is. Neat. Okay. Anyway. Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, the ROR, 50 gold cost decrease, plus 2 melee defense. Alright. Doom Wheel, plus 40 hit points. Neat. But plus 2 melee attack, plus 5 melee defense, and more damage across the board. Alright. Poison Wind Mortars got increased damage, minus AP damage. The Poison Wind Mortars weren't that strong, so we'll see what it does to the globes. Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, minus 50 gold, plus 2 melee defense. Nice. Plague Monks, minus 100 gold. And that's it. Very nice. Avalanche Mortars, damage increase, AP damage decrease. They're still going to be pretty strong, honestly. Warp Fire Wheel. Doom Wheel? Oh, it's like a special Doom Wheel. Okay. Doesn't matter. Cleansing Ruin now correctly displays its ability icon and skill trees. They didn't mention basic Poison Wind Globes, but basic Poison Wind Globes do significantly less damage now. Don't know why they didn't mention that. And then Warp Fire Throwers do significantly more damage now. Don't know why they didn't mention that either, but those are things I tested. Slaanesh has been performing really well a while, thanks to the few Cornerstone units. Devoted Marauders and Hellstriders have been calmed somewhat, but Demonettes and Keepers of Secrets have been buffed. The biggest change on the Slaanesh roster, however, is the reduction of physical resistance for all units, down from 10% to 5%. Oh. Brutal. Units. Demonic units. Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh. I'm noticing that you said demonic units and started us off with a mortal unit. That is incorrect. Anyway, Recruitment Cost is up 75 gold. They lost 5 physical resist. They lost their bonus versus infantry. God damn. Fucking did it to them. Jesus Christ. Demonettes of Slaanesh got 5 armor and 5 leadership. Fine. Demon Prince of Slaanesh. What? Why did the Demon Prince of Slaanesh lose 5 physical resist? That's really randomly. Demonic means monogod? I don't think demonic means monogod, because they're mortal units. Yeah, mortal units, Chaos Lords of Slaanesh, Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh chosen. So I think that was just a mistake. But you might be right, because also Hellstriders are in here. Yeah, that's dumb. Demonic should be units with the demonic trait. Anyway, focusing up. What are we doing? Exalted Keeper of Secrets, minus 100 gold, plus 10 armor. 15 armor is just not going to help you out. I think the Exalted Keepers will still suck. Fiends of Slaanesh, they can hide in the forest now. Yay. Hellstriders of Slaanesh, plus 50 gold, minus 4 melee attack, minus 10 bonus versus large. Jesus Christ. Hellstriders of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges, plus 100 gold, minus 4 melee attack, minus 2 melee defense. Keeper of Secrets, plus 5 leadership, plus 10 armor. Nikari, minus 100 gold, plus 10 armor. Alright. High Elves are almost decent and they got a nerf. What are you talking about? High Elves are on all the streams all the time. Spawn of Slaanesh lost the physical damage resistance associated with the mark. And the Keeper of Secrets ROR got the same treatment as the other Keeper of Secrets. Okay. I'm going to skip anything that says the physical damage resistance, because that's just the mark of Slaanesh. So Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh got, with the Hell Scourges, got poison and minus 2 melee attack, plus 1 base weapon. Okay. Chosen of Slaanesh, minus 50 gold. That's it. Chosen of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges, minus 50 gold. They got poison, minus 2 melee attack, plus 1 AP damage. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh got the same changes as the other Chaos Knights, plus the Mark of Slaanesh changes, so those are overall a buff. Okay, Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh with Spears got 50 gold cost increase, minus 1 melee attack, plus 4 melee defense. That's about it. Hell Scourges got poison, plus 50 gold, minus 2 melee attack. Yeah, so Slaanesh is getting more expensive, less physical resist, so less tanky and more expensive. While it was warranted for their Marauders, I am sad that the Hellstriders got fucked up so bad. Yeah, damn. Not sure if you've seen this yet, but they removed a Zine Cheater from Lizardman Quest Battle. Seems the opposite of a bug fix. 6 line? I did see that. That was pretty funny. Alright, Empire. The Demigryph Knights... Wait, what the fuck is this order? I just realized that we had Slaanesh into the Empire. This isn't alphabetical. Unless... Is it about to do everything with the V? Oh, it's counting the V as the Empire. Okay, for a second, I was like, what the fuck? Demigryph Knights have been the focus of the Empire's changes this patch. Our metrics showed they're underperforming. Yes, they were. Buffs were in order, therefore. Plus, the Luminarch received a considerable buff, and its reload time is now halved. Someone was telling me on Turn Stream this shit might actually be busted. War Wagon's ammunition has been tweaked. War Wagons have 6 gunners, and the unit info panel divides the ammunition by 6 to represent a single volley. Okay, cool. Pig Barter now acts as a bridge rather than forcing Karl Franz to swim beside it. Alright, smart. Cult of Signar can now confederate with the Empire. That's fine. Fixed Volkmar's Book from the Gash rewards list. Listing of wrong units as reward. Nice. Karl Franz's quest battle for Beast Slayer is now winnable. What does that mean? what? Did I miss something? Was Karl Franz's quest unwinnable? That's funny. Guac, Slaanesh kind of need to be put down. Slaanesh was not very strong in land battles, so in land battles they're going to be goddamn dead. Domination, they were super strong, but land battles, not even. They were like B tier. So, anyway. Balthazar Gelt got the same Pegasus changes everybody got. Bright Wizards have flaming attacks to match their sword. Cool. Demigryph Knights, 5 leadership, 2 melee attack, more damage, slightly more damage. Okay, so it's... I don't want to be a little bitch, but I do love how, guys, Demigryph Knights are massively underperforming. We gotta do something. +1 melee attack, +1 damage, +1 AP damage. Fixed. It's such a small change. Splash attack knockback, force multiplier is increased. I don't know how much that's going to affect the game. That's pretty deep mechanic to get into. So we'll see. Maybe that's the big change. Halberds, 2 melee attack, 5 leadership, 1 damage for each med damage type. Hellblaster Volley Guns, -50 gold. Pegasus, same changes as every Pegasus. Reload time of the Temple of Luminarchs is cut in half. Their turn speed is slower, though. Black Lions, War Wagons, more ammunition, more mass. Okay. Royal Ultra Griffite, same changes as everything else. Volkmar the Grim on his mount. He now has almost double his mass. That's about it. Cool. War Wagons, primary ammunition is down 5 from 40 to 35. Okay. And War Wagons with mortars, more mass. Witch Hunter, +15 armor, -100 gold. Actually good changes. I still don't think you'll see him, but good changes. It means that now that Thorgrim is no longer a wide elector count, Karl can see the battlefield. Oh, Platoon, that's terrible. Well, I'm glad they fixed it. Isn't Franz battle glitched where an army wouldn't spawn, you couldn't win it? I don't know. Like, I didn't know that was a problem at all. It's not one I had heard of. That's funny, though. Tomb Kings. There aren't many changes for the Tomb Kings this time around, aside from the Chariot rework, which should help them out a bit. Cool. Cetra got more mass on his mounts. Skeleton Chariots got more mass. Skeleton Chariots got a cost increase, which is interesting. And my damn cat is shedding all over. Kitty cat, stop it. Bone Giant got some melee defense. Kepperguard got a cost increase. Screaming Skull Catapults got a cost increase. Interesting that Tomb Kings took nerfs, actually. They've been having a bit of trouble recently. Alright, get out of here. You're shedding too much. Go. Distracting. There's fur on my face. Stop. Tzeentch. Tzeentch is another faction doing relatively okay. Cool. Disc mounts got almost triple their mass. Pink Horrors of Tzeentch got more leadership, more armor. Flamers of Tzeentch got faster fire velocity. Okay. Chosen of Tzeentch cost decreased by 50. Chosen of Tzeentch Halberds cost decreased by 100. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, the same changes that every Chaos Knight got. That's about it. Now he's officially furry. Got him. Yeah, the Slaanesh Chariot's got pretty big buffs. Vampire Coast. We're getting there, everybody. It's a long patch. It's a long patch. We're an hour into this stream. Vampire Coast have been doing fairly well, so the changes are focused on some of their overperforming units. Gunnery mobs now have the standard 90 range for a handgun unit. Animated Hulks have received a considerable change, and Slaughter's Knight Errant Summon no longer uses lance formation. Mongols have received a bit of a buff across the board, though. Interesting. Slostra got a cost increase? What the fuck, dude? Why? Why would you do that, you jerks? Gunnery mobs lost 30 range, which is pretty bad. Bombers lost explosion damage. I tested them. They still seem fine, but they did get a nerf, I guess. It didn't feel like a nerf, but they got one. Deck droppers, not really any significant changes you need to care about. Bombers of the deck dropper variety got a cost decrease. Okay. Morngul Haunter, the hero, got minus 150 gold, and it got Strider. Morngulls themselves all get Strider, and the Night Terrors lost Rampage. That's pretty huge. You don't want Rampage. Rampage is bad. Animated Hulks lost 4 melee attack, 5 armor, and base weapon damage, and armor-piercing weapon damage. Ooh! Actually, I think that is pretty huge for the coast. It doesn't sound like a lot, but pistols and animated Hulks were largely what was making them meta, and bombers, and all 3 of those things took nerfs, and they got no reciprocation buffs. And the Invocation of Nehek nerfs also apply to them. So, damn. Slosher got a cost increase to counteract her summon cheesy tactic and domination. Well, I don't care about that. Why is it affecting my land battles? She didn't do nothing wrong in land battles. God damn it. She didn't deserve none of this. Vampire counts. Vampire counts have been overperforming across the board. Yup. These tweaks mainly target healing abilities and crypt horrors. These combination of the regen and the high HP will make a truly formidable opponent. Graveguard and Black Knights have also had their magical attacks removed, meaning the vampire counts need to rely more on AoE abilities in order to deal with physical resistance. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Added a growth building to Gorse's starting landmark. Cool. Graveguard lost their magical attacks. Black Knights lost their magical attacks. Crypt horrors. Okay, this looks really small, but remember we already covered that the vampire counts, 3 of their AoE regeneration abilities took a hit, 2 of their most common spells took a hit, right? So this looks really small, but then Crypt Horrors also lost almost 1,000 hit points, and they lost 5 melee defense. So that's pretty big, but this vampire count section looks small. It's because a lot of their nerfs were up above. Warriors of Chaos. Chaos Knights have been improved. Dragon Ogres and Shaggoths also received some buffs. Okay. Warriors of Chaos Beast building now increases Forsaken unit capacity. Demon Prince of Nurgle colors are no longer misaligned. Village's Ritual Spawnify no longer exceeds the military force unit limit restriction. Okay. Chaos Dragon Mount, no more flaming melee attacks. No more flaming melee attacks for dragons anymore, I guess. That's okay. I think it's kind of dumb, but that's fine. Chaos Knights got the changes we've talked about through every Mono God roster, so we're going to skip forward. The Sibilant Slaughtercade got the Slaanesh change, so that's fine. Demon Spew got the Nurgle change, that's fine. Dragon Ogres, minus 50 gold. Woo! Summoners of Rage, minus 50 gold. Woo! Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, more damage. Bilious Thunderguff, the Chaos Giant, more run speed. Those are pretty meh changes, but that's what it is. Okay. You have to wait 2 hours to install the patch. My patch said it completed, so I think mine is live. Wood Elves. Big changes to the Wood Elves this time revolve around the Tree Men, who are currently underperforming. Tree Men have received a buff to their weapon strength, HP, and knockback, which means they should be a bit more effective in prolonged fights and clear enemies out a bit better. Oh, okay. Durthu. Less base weapon damage, more armor-piercing weapon, and more splash attack. Okay. Coadil. Less base weapon damage, that's it. Ancient Tree Man can do splash attack against large foes. That's pretty good, so they can clear out cavalry easier. Tree Man and Malevolent Tree Man, more hit points. Less base weapon damage, more armor piercing, better knockback. Unicorn mounts, just some speed changes, like across the board slightly. Great Stag's got a mass increase. Great Stag Knights got 5% more missile resist. Lost Silva Knights got the same. Loix Tristers, the War Dancers with Anti Spears, got minus 50 gold. Wild Riders, 200 more mass, meaning they do more damage on the charge. Sisters of the Thorn, more mass, do more damage on the charge. Hawk Riders, 50 more gold, 5 more melee attack, 6 more melee defense, 4 more charge bonus, and they got Woodsmen so they can dive into trees and be fine. Zote's got 10 leadership. Nice. That's about it. Campaign. Skip down to the Realm of Chaos. Reduce the number of factions that war with the Ice Court at the start of the Realm of Chaos campaign. Okay. Diplomacy. In cases where faction had mission-driven confederation, a small boost has been applied to the confederating faction, making it less likely to die before the player can complete the mission. Damn. Battles. New endless survival battles. We showed this on stream. They're not terrible. They're not terrible. The problem is it's a little too easy. Difficulty is scaled both on the player count and the time survived. I played for 75 minutes and I was still slapping kids. These battles cannot be won, yeah. It's a good addition to the game. I'll take any free edition, obviously, but it's much more for casual players than, like, hardcore players because, like I said, I made it 75 minutes into a game and I was still slapping. Okay. Ambush battle bug fixes, chokebook battle bug fixes, domination. Fixed an issue with the skybox in Broken Leg Gully. Adjusted the force on the bottom tier of Arhan to make a better balance on both sides. Okay. Land battles. Bunch of map-specific bug fixes we're going to skip. Settlement battles. Bunch of map-specific bug fixes we're going to skip. Siege battles. Stopped settlement wall towers from damaging their own walls and gatehouses. Smart. Bunch of stuff like that. Other significant battle changes. The reinforcement panel in domination survival battles can now be moved wherever you want in the screen, which is very big and very cool. Teleport withdraw time from 3 seconds to 10 seconds. Reinforcement resummoning time from 36 to 45. So it takes longer to desummon stuff and resummon stuff, and you can move that stupid little panel around. Okay. Fixed riders on war machines from shooting the primary missile weapon of the unit when they weren't supposed to. E.g. Blood Rackshine and Scourgerunner Chariot. The Scourgerunner Chariots came up again, and I didn't know that was a problem with them. They were doing like a shit ton of damage, but I really wonder. If that's going to affect Dark Elves. Because if Scourgerunners get nerfed, Dark Elves are in a bit of trouble. Like, they'll still be fine. They'll be fine. But their main two sources of being OP are like Malekith / Malice with just insane amounts of healing, and then Scourgerunner Chariots. Without that, they're like a solid faction, but not amazing. Also, fixed players gaining unfair advantage in multiplayer battles by modifying the UI through a movie pack. So the Clisson Cheater Pumpkin Eater mod has been patched out. So that's cool. Multiplayer dev text. Nice. Quick battle map rotation changes. The following maps have been added to quick battles: Prague, Schwarzhof, and Blasted Lands, Mortis Waste, Southern Chaos Wastes. Okay, cool. Broken Hills, Compass Reach, and Crystal Mountains were all removed. Oh boy. Articulated vehicle collision overhaul. The layman's terms for that is chariots. Articulated vehicle collision is getting reworked. This affects all units that pivot when turning, such as chariots and war wagons. Previously, the effect collision of an articulated vehicle was governed by a single collision volume. This meant that when an articulated unit, such as a chariot, was turning or colliding with enemies, the logical collision was not represented with the actual 3D unit visuals. Longtime players reading this may remember that we attempted to fix this back in Warhammer 2 during the Sounds of Fury DLC, temporarily leading to some very overpowered Tuskor and Razor chariots. So what was the issue? To explain this new behavior, it is first important to understand how articulated vehicle collision worked prior to this change and the problems this caused. Oh god. First off, these vehicles are split into 4 main components. Articulated entity. This is the main controller of the separate components of the thingy. Okay. You can read this if you want to. I'm skipping it for now. So essentially, the whole unit had a super large and long hitbox, but when you're trying to turn, that meant you had to deal with everybody's mass at the same time, so you had issues turning because it was almost impossible for you to be able to push that many things out of the way. Okay. What have we done? In patch 3.0, the articulate entity amount and the collisions all work in conjunction with collided units. To illustrate here in a comparison of the effect of collision, okay, don't care. As you can see, the vehicle is a lot more representative of its visual model when executing a turn. This helps articulated vehicles out when moving through enemy units, but prevents more opportunities for enemies to attack as well. So there's several hitboxes your unit can target instead of one super large one. And this both helps them in moving, but also helps them in taking damage. Yeah, that's the easiest way to get to it. Because I'm going to simplify this. Overall, if you have a large single hitbox, when you are trying to move, you need to push everything touching that single hitbox out of the way with your number, with your mass. And it was very unlikely for chariots to do that, because if you have 1,000 and infantry have 100, well, your gigantic hitbox means you are touching probably 30 infantry, meaning you're surrounded by 3,000 mass, and you're not going to be able to move. So that was bad for chariots. And another thing that was frustrating about chariots is if you have this giant hitbox, most things in the game are designed to swing at the middle of your hitbox. Well, if your hitbox is gigantic, they can't reach the middle. They can't get there. They can't physically get there to attack it. So what changed is now every mount, you can see on this right-hand picture, there's 4 tiny hitboxes. But what that does is it splits up. It's good for both parties. It splits up your mass. So you have a better chance of pushing through things, because it's not the dwarves at the back of your chariot are stopping you from moving the front. Like, the front is fighting the front, the back is fighting the back, mass-wise, and it's easier for you to work your way through a thing. And on the other side, it's easier for units to attack you, because instead of trying to reach the center of your gigantic chariot hitbox, they're trying to reach the center of one of these smaller hitboxes, whichever one they're closest to. So if they're close to the front mounts, they'll just attack the front mounts, rather than trying to walk past the front mounts to get to, I guess, like, the ropes between you and the chariot where the center would be, I guess. So infantry swing a lot more at the chariots in the middle of them, and chariots can push through things easier. It's just overall a better system. Lower fire visual update. We showed that on the channel before. It looks really nice. Flaming or magical attack visualization. If a unit has a flaming or magical attack imbued, they will now spawn minor VFX on afflicted enemies to telegraph it. Nice. Graphics. Oh, God. That's a lot of reading. Skip. It's just fixed a bunch of map issues, honestly. Audio. Skip. That's a lot of fixed. New missile block icon. I think it looks worse, but yes, there is a new shield. UI. Added enable all and disable all buttons on the campaign notifications menu. That's fine. Campaign race now lists full rows instead of columns. Make the system with other units race lists. That's fine. Fixed. Fixed a missing board on the building browser. Fixed. All legendary heroes now display a bespoke short description recruited. Fixed. A lot of small fixes I didn't even know were problems. Is it a sin that I am more hyped for the overall fixes than I am for the dwarves themselves? Koyo, I've had that sentiment too a lot. I'm just like, holy shit, the improvements to the game are so good. Oh, also Chaos Dwarves exist. That's kind of neat. Okay, up next. That's all she wrote. Compiling this has taken years off of our lives. Thank you for joining us on this voyage. Apologies to the vocal cords if anyone foolishly chose to verbalize these patch notes. However, this is just the start of Update 3.0 story. We shall be keeping a close eye on your feedback and can in fact confirm that Update 3.1 is actually very rapidly approaching, because as hard as it to believe, we've got more stuff ready to deploy than we can fit into this release. We shan't go into the details here, but as we've surely all had our fill by now, but expect more fix-based wholesomeness on 3.1 when it arrives in a few weeks. Wow. A few weeks. So please, if you've come this far, let's complete our journey by jumping into Warhammer 3 and giving the myriad of new features a try. For everyone on Total War Warhammer team, thank you for your participation and support. We still have plenty more to come for Warhammer 3, and we'll keep you updated. The journey continues. Now, where's that roadmap? I don't know where the roadmap is, but I will say after like 5 months of not getting a single patch, hearing the next patch is 2 weeks away is nice. So, yeah. Alright, I have pings. What the fuck? They know who the real Lord is? The Vampire Count said Vlad. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So I'm just going to fire up the game and make sure the patch is actually allowed.
Would you also see the Magma Cannon of Tim the Wilder giving some perpetual focus fire on the Demonsmith Sorcerer up on the high ground as well?
Oh, Turin's casting some domination stuff for CA. Okay. Shush. That doesn't look like the Chaos Dwarf background. Yeah, that looks like the Chaos Dwarf background. Yeah, Chaos Dwarves are out. So it's live. It is in fact live. Cool. So since that's live, it's 10:30 for me right now. At noon, I will start a stream where I will be in a lobby and people can jump in and fight me as they will be the Chaos Dwarves, and I will be every faction in the entire game. Yeah. So we'll have another stream in an hour and a half of actually playing the game. Hopefully you'll join us for that. We'll see how long Turin's stream goes on. As long as that's going on, probably gonna have low viewership, but oh well. Fuck it. Alright. Alright. There was all the patches. Goodbye for everybody.